Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between MadFrog and Morrow here on Blistering Sands. MadFrog spawning as the red Zerg player on the south side of the map. Meanwhile, we have Morrow spawning over here on the north side of the map as the blue Zerg. So this will be a Zerg versus Zerg matchup here on Blistering Sands. Now, MadFrog pretty much well known for his Mutalisk play, so I'm curious to see if he's going to try to stick with that or if he's going to change it up a little bit. A lot of Zerg versus Zerg battles do revolve around Zergling, Baneling, and the Roach and just mass tier 1, so we'll see if that continues to be the case or if things perhaps are changed up as well. MadFrog down over here, you can see both sides pretty much doing the same exact build order, trying to get more drones, trying to get saturated and trying to get their strategies underway. Both sides also scouting out with their overlords as well, and pretty much you can see that both sides doing the same exact strategy. The production tab exactly mirrored within a second of each other, so both sides, I guess these two players practice against each other a lot, as both players pretty much doing the same thing still. Are they both going to go for a 14 spawning pool or for a 14 hatchery? We now see MadFrog getting an early extractor, and same thing with Morrow. So this indicates to me that we will most likely be seeing a spawning pool in just a moment, and both sides trying to go for that metabolic boost on their Zerglings. With the metabolic boost on their Zerglings, they will be able to try to outflank each other continually and try to perhaps get the proper positioning on theirs with those Zerglings. You have to remember that creep gives no advantage in a Zerg versus Zerg matchup, as both sides obviously get that speed bonus on creep. So that's one of the reasons why that metabolic boost is so important during the early game. Taking a look back over here into Morrow's base, the Morrow's base pretty much looks exactly the same as MadFrog's base. Spawning pool being laid down, extractor up, currently harvesting gas as well. Only real difference is the different location on these spawning pools, one over here to the north and one over here to the west. So I believe as soon as we take a look, both sides are pretty much still doing the same exact thing, and they should also have the same amount of larvae as well. So there we go, MadFrog will be able to start training up a queen, and now once again the production tab exactly mirrored. So this is a mirror match in every single sense of the word. 6 Zerglings, 1 queen, metabolic boost being trained by both players at the same exact time. They must have came to the same website and read the same exact build order, because that seems to be the strategy so far. Also, Baneling nest coming into play, so it looks like this is just going to be Zergling Baneling very, very early on in this game, and it's going to be a game of cat and mouse in the center. Whoever engages first may try to pull back a little bit, let those reinforcements come, and then when they have superior numbers, try to push back again. However, more reinforcements will come from the other side, and it will be a game of tug of war like that with proper positioning for about, I'd say, the next 7 minutes or so before someone else tries to really deviate from that strategy. Zerglings are trying to catch 2 in the open field. However, 8 Zerglings on 6. 8 Zerglings on 6, and now once again 8 on 8, but however we're up closer to Morrow's base, so it's now 10 on 8 as these 8 Zerglings now trying to pull back, and now it's going to be 10 on 10. And yes, exactly how I said, we do see 1 Baneling now trying to come into position as well, and now however there's going to be 2 Banelings over here by Morrow. So both sides, we now see that there's this one Overlord however does not see the Banelings that are currently sitting in there, and now there is also 1 Baneling nearing completion there. So both sides now have the metabolic boost, and now those 2 Banelings trying to get in position, trying to run their way in. Will this 1 Baneling try to sacrifice itself? No, not trying to sacrifice it. No, will not be able to sacrifice itself, as some Zerglings just trying to peck apart those Banelings there. Those Banelings however just simply walking, and if they're able to get to that mineral line, that's going to be a bad sign on both parts, and we now see some damage being dealt over here. 1 Baneling trying to run past, taking some damage. Will that Baneling make its way into the mineral line? It does not look like it. That Zergling will be able to take it down, get that last hit there, and getting a suicide kill. However, more Banelings and Zerglings continue to run around the map, as 1 Baneling trying to be hatched into this location. Zerglings now trying to pop it. However, it may pop and get a lot of damage dealt across a lot of those Banelings there. So all it will take is 1 more Baneling being hatched. However, that will take quite some time as these Banelings are now coming into position. Will this 1 Baneling trying to suicide into this group here manually detonate? No, not going to be able to manually detonate. Both sides just popping these Zerglings or these Banelings one at a time, trying to get more attacks. It will take what 2 Zerglings out getting killed there. More Banelings continuing to be hatched. And now, sorry if I miss anything on the mini-map, because there's just action all over the place. So MadFrog now trying to come in more and more of those banelings. Zerglings now trying to pressure in as well. Those Zerglings trying to get some damage onto those banelings. However, 2 Zerglings quickly getting taken down. And now fresh banelings coming in. 1 detonation, another detonation. There we go, 1 for 1 there, as both sides continue to macro up and try to get more banelings. Both sides not even worrying about any drones at this stage. 1 Zergling trying to get those 2 banelings over here. These 2 banelings may get a sacrifice. No, not going to be able to get a sacrifice, as these units now try to pull back once again. More banelings now trying to hatch into this location here. 1 detonation. Will that detonation? No, that detonation did not happen. Unable to catch those 2 banelings there, as 1 Zergling tries to poke apart that 1 baneling. And I cannot help stop sneezing at this stage in the game. So back and forth, continuing to fight. Are we going to get another splash? Oh, 1 splash and only 1 Zergling. So not a good sacrifice by any means on this fight. And now 1 baneling will be able to walk up this ramp, and this is not what you want to see. There are no spine crawlers here, and MadFrog's base is very, very much exposed. Morrow sitting with 2 banelings there, getting 1 sacrifice, and I'm not sure what exactly happened with that. This queen may be able to do something. We do see some banelings hiding off in this main base over here, perhaps waiting for no movement speed. 1 queen, 2 queens will be able to make it out over here, as some Zerglings now engaging in the center of the map here, trying to go back and forth. More Zerglings up here as well, hatching in addition, and now one baneling will be able to kill 1 Zergling back again, and more Zerglings now trying to be hatched over here. MadFrog does have a couple of these Zerglings over here to the north. 1 baneling will be trying to take down some of these units here. However, there is going to be 3 banelings now out, and once again pushing back out. We have another Overlord in this position, more Zerglings, and this is just going to be a massive Zergling baneling battle for the past 4 minutes so far. So Zergling, Baneling, both sides trying to deal damage, both sides trying to back off at the same exact time. Both taking a look at Harvester count, both sides exactly even so far, and both sides continuing to produce. It will matter who is able to continue to spawn larva in this fight. Army-wise, you can see 325 versus 175. 10 Zerglings, however, being trained by Morrow, so Morrow will be able to get a larger army in just a second as well. However, more banelings are trying to be hatched as well. Zerglings now trying to engage. More Zerglings running down from the ramp will be able to finish off that army here, and now those Zerglings are trying to finish off some of MadFrog's banelings. However, those banelings should be able to completely detonate, taking down 4 of those Zerglings. Nicely done. Another detonation, taking down another 4. So that is a good exchange there. Alright, break in the action. Thank you. Let me catch my breath as Zerglings once again move out, and production-wise, both sides still doing the same exact thing. And both queens trying to maintain that spawn larva ability. There is still 1 baneling hiding over off into this direction over here. Zerglings now trying to pour down from this ramp side, and now both sides want to make sure. We now see MadFrog going into tier 2, getting banelings and training drones. So it looks as though Morrow will be able to get a stronger economy, or a stronger army in just a second. You can see as the production changes a little bit, and as those 9 banelings and those 4 Zerglings are out, you're going to see the army size of Morrow simply dominate MadFrog's in just a moment. So it's at 275 versus 75 right now. Once that production is done, you can see now 500 versus 50. Things are not going to be looking good. MadFrog now trying to move out. Will it be enough? Queen's also trying to engage as well. Queen's getting a lot of slashing action as well, and will be able to take down a lot of those Zerglings fairly easily. We do have these 2 queens, and now hatchery sitting at still a hatchery. So Morrow going to tier 2. No, Morrow did not. I thought I saw a tech. No, you see another hatchery being laid down. So a second hatchery being laid down in order to keep up with more and more larvae, and now more queens. So perhaps we're going to see a transition into mass queens by MadFrog, which would be a very, very interesting strategy if these queens are able to get some splash damage dealt onto those Zerglings, onto those banelings. We still see 1 baneling hiding off in this direction over here, as more banelings are in the center of the map. 2 banelings want to try to take down a group of banelings here. Will they be able to come in and detonate? Come on, manually detonate, able to get off more kills. Another manual detonation, maybe it'll take off some of those back banelings there. However, nicely done, taking down 3 banelings. So 1 Zergling accidentally killing 3 of his own partner's banelings, or his own friendly banelings, after they ran down that ramp. We now have more banelings continuing to scamper out across the map. We do have, what, 4 of those banelings here. Manual detonation, another manual detonation, taking down more Zerglings as they're trying to be hatched. And another detonation there, taking down a lot of those banelings. They're unable to get that final hit on that baneling. Baneling now just trying to hatch over here. And now we see a lot of banelings currently in production. 13 banelings will be running up this ramp in just a moment. We have a lot of Zerglings coming down over here, and some queens, and now one Spinecrawler. If this Spinecrawler is perhaps able to get into this location, it will be able to slash units as it tries to come up that ramp, and that will be very, very critical for these units. One queen now trying to make its way. Will it be able to start attacking and slashing some of those banelings? Yeah, slashing away. Spinecrawler also joining in on that fight. These queens have a lot of transfusion in them, so able to get a lot of quick kills there. Banelings, however, now on creep, and that's going to be a very, very bad sign as it now runs straight into that mineral line. And drones now trying to get away. Will they be able to get away in time as those queens come to slash in? Able to save off more. However, there are 2 banelings there, and those banelings unable to take down many of those drones. You can see 10 drones or 4 drones were taken down. That will mean that MadFrog will need to try to train up additional drones, and now a Spinecrawler being transferred over here to the ramp, and that will be absolutely critical for this Spinecrawler. The Spinecrawler will be able to start slashing away at those banelings as it comes up. And 2 hits from the Impaler Tentacle will take down one Baneling. One hit if that Baneling is below 25 hit points. So one Zergling attack and then trying to pop that Baneling. We still see one Baneling hiding out over here. Perhaps Morrow is waiting and waiting for another Baneling to join in on that fight. 2 queens holding into this position. Creep Tumor now being laid down. Queen in position. Spinecrawler also getting a lot of damage as well. And now there are a couple of Banelings just perhaps waiting down. Zergling's now trying to put pressure onto the back door. That back door will get taken down as there are no Spinecrawlers and nothing that really MadFrog can do. Army-wise, you see 675 for Morrow, MadFrog down to 75. Production-wise, we do see Banelings continuing to be produced as Zerglings are continuing to be produced over here. MadFrog now getting a little bit more of a harvesting advantage, now getting an additional about 120 minerals per game minute. However, these mineral patches are starting to be mined out or will be mined out very, very shortly. We now see Zerglings continuing to peck away at these backdoor rocks over here, and now Banelings continuing to sacrifice themselves in this position. One Zergling trying to make their way. However, this Baneling may accidentally do more harm than good if it tries to detonate against this location. 2 Zerglings taken down there, so somewhat of a fairer trade except for 1-for-1. And now that Baneling moving at a very, very slow movement speed, once again getting taken down. So these Banelings deal, I believe, 35 damage versus light, able to instantly detonate. Zerglings now trying to take down these rocks once again. These rocks continue to get pecked away. I wonder what would happen if a Zerg player tried to get the level 1 armor upgrades for the Carapace. If they're able to get the Carapace upgrades, when a Baneling pops, that Zergling wouldn't die if it was a full hit point Zergling, enabling that Zergling to fight another day. We now see Banelings hiding off in this direction over here. These rocks are very, very low on hit points as Zerglings now hiding off to the north. Production wise, we still see 6 more Zerglings continuing, and this is the longest Baneling battle I've seen in quite some time. No transfusions, perfectly done there, and if we continue to get more and more transfusions, all of these queens will be able to finish off and get a lot of kills. However, both queens have been taken down now, and no Spinecrawler on this ramp. This is going to be a very, very sad day as Zerglings may be able to run up this ramp with the help of creep, in addition to those Banelings walking up this ramp. So Banelings not trying to walk in, and now those Banelings will simply be able to come in and perhaps detonate. Impaler Tentacle trying to come in, able to get off 1 kill on that Impaler Tentacle, another kill, there we go. And however, those Banelings unable to get any real kills off down there. Zerglings unable to run out that ramp, and now trying to get even more. We have Banelings now trying to move out, able to get 1 splash, killing off 3 of those Zerglings, and now more of those Banelings canceling their canceling that once again. We are now, as this fight continues, both sides are still sitting at tier 1, and you can see that Morrow is nearly mined out of his base. Same thing with MadFrog, so both players will be forced to do some long distance mining if they are not careful. So MadFrog now moving out with these 6 Banelings, unit combinations, 7 Banelings, 19 Zerglings versus 19 Zerglings and 3 Banelings. Both sides continuing to try to produce more and more units as well, and I need a break, so stay tuned for part 2 of this crazy replay so far between Morrow and MadFrog here on Blistering Sands.